Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Talking Touchdowns with Mac and Ron. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day and enjoying football season so far, whether you're watching college or the NFL. We're here to break it down for you a little bit. For those who don't know us, my name is Matt Gilbert.
My name is Ron Cumberland, and like the church says, we are in Mortal Kombat season. This is the time where the teams are either make or break, kind of like the Browns.
Kind of like football.
Yes, kind of like football, where the Browns got destroyed the Pittsburgh Steelers. What was up with that?
They didn't really destroy them. They did beat them in a close game, but boy, that game was fun to watch in the snow for sure. It was like
What game did you watch?
The Browns and the Steelers game.
It was a destroying. The Browns won, 24-19.
I mean, that's a close game, but still, I mean, you would have to take that game for sure. I mean, if you are the Browns, I don't think this is going to do anything for their season.
Sadly,
I
no.
think
The season is done.
I think the Browns are so far out of it this year that it's not going to matter at this point. But it's still nice to get a win against your arch rival.
Yes.
If you're a Cleveland Browns fan.
That is correct.
Steelers, this loss, I don't know what it's going to do going forward because they were number one in that division. If the Ravens can pull out a win this weekend, they could easily take that division. And
I agree.
this has definitely been a season of surprise for the Steelers. Mike Tomlin is a fantastic coach. He has had 17 winning seasons with them. He's looking for number 18 this year.
Longest tenured coach in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Active. Yes, sir.
And you know
he's done wonders with the team, and he's won enough Super Bowls to do it.
He's won one Super Bowl. I think he has to win another one, though, to prove that to be in the same league as his two predecessors.
No, you're right. It was one Super Bowl.
Because you look at that. You look at that.
Bill
first.
Cowher was the first one.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. You look at that that Super Bowl that Mike Tomlin won. He inherited a team that Bill Cowher built.
That is true.
So he kind of has to still win one to prove that he can build a team like his two predecessors, Chuck Noll and Bill Cowher, did.
That is also correct. Very true. Very true.
I
never thought of it like that, Mac. You were right.
And I really thought, they were 8-2 going into this week. I thought for sure. I mean, I said the Steelers were going to make. I thought they were going to make it to the AFC Championship game. Now, I mean, I don't know. The Ravens could put up a good fight with them. I really think if they have to face the Ravens or the Chiefs.
My biggest concern with the Steelers, and as much as I love Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, their starting quarterbacks, is you have to commit to one or the other. You cannot just say you have two starting quarterbacks.
I could agree with that statement, but I think they've kind of already committed to Wilson, though, for them.
Oh, you didn't read last week's statement when they beat the Ravens? They asked, who is the starting quarterback? We have two starting quarterbacks. And they gave Justin Fields a couple chances against the Browns. He had some yardage where they brought him as a QB, and he did a couple quarterback sneaks, and he even made an attempt. Granted, it didn't pass, but he did.
Personally, I think they should give one of them to the Browns because the Browns have 0 starting quarterbacks. Everyone on the Browns is either a backup.
Yes, I know. Oh, I know. We had a quarterback last year. What was his name? Flacco?
Yes, Joe Flacco.
And he actually took us to a playoff game and won.
No, he didn't win the playoff game.
Oh, I stand corrected.
He took us to the playoffs.
Edit that out.
Or he took the Browns to the playoffs.
My bad.
We can say this. He's a 49ers fan. I'm a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, exactly. My point is he took them to a playoff game, reversed a losing season to a winning season, and what did the Browns do in their infinite wisdom? No. Even if they would have kept him as the backup to the mighty Deshaun Watson, who are their dud Deshaun Watson, we still would have had a viable person on the bench.
100%, I agree. And I mean, the Browns have too much talent to be a 3-8 team.
Yes.
They have way too much talent to be a 3-8 team.
Amen.
And this is kind of inexcusable. And I mean, when they first got all this talent, and I know you mentioned in the last episode you don't like them very much, but when you got Myles Garrett, Baker Mayfield, who's no longer a part of the Browns, Nick Chubb, Denzel Ward.
Yep.
When you got
that much talent.
That core four at
Yeah.
the time, everyone thought that the Browns were going to be set for a long time.
I agree.
Now, I mean, Baker's gone.
Chubb wants to leave. Garrett wants to leave.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that Chubb and Garrett want to leave, but they're also getting older. Chubb is coming back from that injury.
I know.
Garrett, I mean, like, these guys are in their late 20s, almost 30-somethings. They're, like, they're in their late prime of their career.
They're veterans. I agree.
I mean, I say with Baker because, I mean, like, quarterbacks usually last a little bit longer.
That is true.
Like, usually, like, you see guys like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers go into their 40s.
Yes, very true.
Joe Montana, I think, even went into his 40s.
40, and then he retired. Yes, sir.
And
Kurt Warner, another example. I mean, we can go on.
Kurt Warner went into his 40s.
Dan
Marino went into his 40s.
40, yep. Your guy, Dan Marino. That guy from the Broncos, who I'm not a fan of. But Joe Montana beat him.
John Elway.
Oh, Peyton Manning I love. Peyton, good man.
Yes.
Another one who retired at 40.
39 was close to his 40th birthday, but it counts. It counts as 40. But yeah, like you said, quarterbacks usually last longer.
Right, because all they do is they're protected if they have a good offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, like, you see, then you mentioned that,
even the rules allow for it.
And Andrew Luck, who didn't have an offensive line, he retired early. Like, the ones who don't have the good offensive line get banged up a lot, go earlier.
That is correct.
And that's what worries me about Joe Burrow with Cincinnati. Like, he gets sacked, he gets
You are correct.
Great quarterback, but he gets banged up so much
right.
that I really think he's not going to last much past 30 because of how much he gets banged up.
Very true.
So
100%.
The Bengals either need to get an O-line now, or they have a very, very, very small window
to use Burrow. I agree.
To use Burrow to get them
Amen.
The Super Bowl win.
Amen to that.
So now we talked about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Dolphins a little bit because I'm a Dolphins fan. Dolphins in their next game play the New England Patriots. New England Patriots their dynasty has come to an end. They got a new coach. Bill Belichick's gone this year. So that should be an easy win for the Dolphins.
Should be.
Then on Thanksgiving Day, Green Bay, baby.
On the frozen tundra.
On the frozen tundra.
It's
gonna be a very hard one for Miami.
But it's doable.
Here's what I think. It's do or die for the Dolphins, especially if they win against the Patriots. Because if they win against the Patriots, they're 5-6, which means they need one more win to hit 500. They need to get that win against Green Bay because that's going to make or break their season. Because if they win against Green Bay, they're 6-6. If they play only two more teams with an above 500 record, they'll need to take one of those games too, but they will have if they can get by Green Bay, they can get to 500 with what they've been through this year with Tua going down. They will have the momentum on their side to try and fight for a playoff run.
On the flip side of the coin, now we go to my beloved 49ers. They get Christian McCaffrey back. They beat Dallas. Then they go to Seattle and they lose by 3 points. It's been one comic tragedy of errors all season. They win one. They win the one that you don't think they're going to win. Then they lose the one that you think they should win. And they're
not going to the Super Bowl this year.
Sadly.
If he thinks they're going to win, if anyone thinks the San Francisco 49ers are going to win one this year, wrong. To be honest, I don't even think the Chiefs are going to win it this year.
I think they still have a chance to make the playoffs because their division is so weak.
I'm not going to say they're not going to make the playoffs, but they definitely will. I think they could make the playoffs for sure.
Actually, the NFC as a whole is down this year.
I agree, but you do know who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Pittsburgh.
Think Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. This is their year. I hate to say it.
I'm not a Steelers fan.
Neither am I. Well, kind of.
A part of me would be okay if the Steelers won, but the team I think is going to win it all, Detroit Lions.
I would be okay with Detroit Lions. I agree.
I think Detroit.
They need a win.
Like,
they need to win a Super Bowl.
You mentioned Bill Cowher. Dan Campbell's the same type of coach that Bill Cowher was, and he is like he is that come hit them in the mouth kind of guy, like that tough guy, and the Lions play tough. I really think they're unbeatable. I really think the Lions are the team to win the Super Bowl this year.
Every team can be beat on any given day.
Oh, I know that, but I think this year it's going to be the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions, and on the other side of the coin, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers or Kansas City Chiefs, one of the two.
Oh, the Chiefs are always a contender, no doubt.
To be honest, I know the Steelers are an arch rival for Ohio teams.
Oh, I know.
But I would actually, at this point, not taking anything away from Patrick Mahomes, not taking anything away from the Chiefs, but it's kind of like the Patriots. I would actually rather see the Steelers win than see the Patriots win.
Oh, amen to that.
And and then I would rather see the Steelers win than see the Ravens win.
Amen to that too.
Because we're from Cleveland. I'll be honest. The Ravens were stolen from Cleveland.
Amen. Oh, completely.
They were stolen from Cleveland. That's why I
was at the last game. I remember the fans rioting, ripping seats out of the old Municipal Stadium. That's the one that's not currently there, and that was still no dome.
Okay, I'll be honest. I was a Browns fan. I don't root for them because I do not like Deshaun Watson.
They are my number 2 team. I'll be honest.
They're
49ers stole my heart at a very young
Dolphins,
age.
Lions, then Browns for me.
49ers, Browns, and then Pittsburgh because that's where my dad was from.
So yeah, I think we're both on the same page.
Yeah.
We'd rather see Pittsburgh win it.
But I can't say anything bad about Detroit either.
But Detroit, if you're like I said, Detroit's my second favorite team. I said I'd be rooting for them in the playoffs, especially if the Browns and the Dolphins don't get in. And back to the Dolphins, I need to point this out. If they finish the season 8-9, which is possible, that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be frustrated in them because they did not go out and get Ryan Tannehill when Tua Tagovailoa went down.
This is true, too.
Tannehill, he's a decent backup. He's played in Miami before. He could have taken that team that lost a couple close games early on and put a couple W's on the board for
Agreed.
the Dolphins. A 9-8 team will get you into the playoffs.
You're right.
So, if the Dolphins finish 8-9 and miss the playoffs by one game, I will be frustrated.
Now let's talk college. How do you rank a team that has gone 10-0 but has played nobody and be number 5 in the nation? Oh, wait, then you go up against Ohio State Buckeyes, the Hoosiers, the Who's Nots, and you lose 38-15. Well, you're going out of the top 10. I think the Buckeyes cemented their place for a rematch against the Ducks in the Big Ten championship game. Mac?
I agree. I think so too. The Bucks. Just to lose that one game, that very close game. They still have to win the big game next week, though.
Sadly, that won't be a big game. It's always a big game, but it won't be a big game this year. We're going to steamroll them. We have the home field advantage. We've only lost one game by 1 point, by a few points. Oh, that was to the number. That was a 1.
If they lose this game, if they were to lose this game,
if and they're not, no, bad Mac.
If they do, you think Day goes bye-bye?
They do. Ryan Day is done. Yes.
I would have to agree with that statement.
I
love Ryan Day. Like I want Ryan Day to win a championship with the Buckeyes so bad.
Makes 2 of us. I agree.
I wanted to beat him so bad, and I think Ohio State this year could win a championship. I really do.
They have one of the most talented teams I've seen, and that's saying something, but they have one of the most talented teams I've seen in years.
I think Oregon and Texas are going to probably be like 2.
Yep. 2 and 3. Yep. One,
Two
two,
hard,
three.
2 hard ones for them, but I think they can get it done this year.
In fact, this is true. This is true. Shame on you for saying Quackers might beat them.
I think Ohio State will come out with a vengeance against them, and
Of course.
because that was a so close game that should have been won.
Exactly.
And that was Will Howard being like
It was
a show off that kind of blew it too. Ohio State,
Oregon Ducks.
Oregon Ducks. Do you think that's going to be the championship game this year? Or?
I think that. I don't know if it's going to be the championship game, depending on how they structure them in the playoffs. Depending on where the final rankings are, because there are 12 teams now. Last I saw, Oregon was going to be number 1, last projected ranking, and then Ohio State would be ranked number 5.
Yeah.
Because Oregon would get a bye, being number 1. Ohio State would have to come in a little, farther down on the. They're still going to go, but farther down on the list. But we shall see.
Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely going to be close. I think Ohio State will win that. I think the Detroit Lions will win the Super Bowl.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
You think Steelers are going to win it all?
I just said that.
I'm saying Lions, you're saying Steelers.
Yes.
So we can agree to disagree there.
But I'm right. And you're wrong.
So,
Yes, we can agree to disagree.